Hello and welcome to our English learning audio lesson. My name is Trevor.
And I'm Alicia. We are so glad you could join us today.
Today we are going to talk about something that happens to everyone, but can be a little tricky to handle. Conflict at work.
Oh, that's a big topic. Disagreements can feel a bit scary, especially when you're communicating in a new language.
Exactly. But don't worry. Our goal today is to give you the simple words and phrases you need to solve problems at work politely and confidently.
That sounds really useful. So, we're learning how to disagree without being disagreeable.
That's a perfect way to put it, Alicia. We'll learn how to express our opinion clearly, listen to others, and find the solution together, all in a calm and professional way.
Trevor, this reminds me of something that happened to me last week at my office. Can I share a quick story?
Of course, stories are a great way to learn.
Okay. So, my colleague David and I are working on a presentation together. I sent him an email with my ideas for the design. He replied with just one sentence. This isn't really what I had in mind.
And how did you feel when you read that?
Honestly, I felt a little hurt and stressed. I thought, oh no, he hates my ideas. He thinks my work is bad. I started to worry about the whole project.
That's a very natural reaction. It's easy to imagine the worst. So, what did you do next?
Well, first, I wanted to write a defensive email back, but then I remembered to stay calm. So instead, I walked over to his desk.
Good move. Face to face is often better for sensitive topics.
Right. I said something like, "Hi, David, I saw your email. Could you tell me more about your vision for the design?"
That's a fantastic way to open the conversation. You asked for more information instead of accusing him.
And you know what? He wasn't upset at all. He just had a different idea about the colors we should use. He actually loved my layout. We talked for 5 minutes and agreed on a new color scheme together.
That's a perfect example of solving a problem. What started as a conflict was really just a misunderstanding. You handled it beautifully by communicating openly. Alicia's story introduces some important words. Let's talk about them. The first one is misunderstanding. A misunderstanding is when you fail to understand something or someone correctly.
Like, I thought David disliked my work, but he just disliked the colors. That was a misunderstanding.
Exactly. The next word is disagreement. This is simply when you have a different opinion from someone else. You can disagree with someone without having a fight.
So, David and I had a small disagreement about the best colors for the presentation.
Precisely. And the big word is conflict. A conflict is a more serious disagreement, often with strong feelings involved. The goal is to solve misunderstandings and disagreements before they become conflicts. Now, one of the most powerful tools for preventing conflict is using I statements.
I statements? What do you mean?
An I statement focuses on your feelings and your perspective. A you statement often sounds like an accusation. It can make people feel defensive.
Okay, can you give an example?
Certainly. Imagine a colleague is speaking very loudly on the phone, and you can't concentrate. A you statement would be, you are being too loud.
Right, that sounds a bit rude.
It does. Now, let's try an I statement. For example, I am having a little trouble concentrating. I was wondering if you might be able to lower your voice just a bit.
Oh, I see. That's so much softer. It's about my problem, not their fault.
Exactly. It invites cooperation instead of confrontation. Let's try to use I statements in our practice dialogue.
I'm ready. Let's do some role playing.
Excellent. For our first scenario, imagine we are in a team meeting. I suggest an idea. You don't think it's a good idea. First, let's hear a way that is too direct or maybe a little rude. I'll start. Okay, team. For the new marketing campaign, I think we should spend the entire budget on television ads.
No, that's a terrible idea. We'll waste all our money.
Okay, you can hear how that would immediately stop the conversation. My idea was rejected completely.
Yes, it's very negative.
Now, let's try it again using a polite, professional approach. I'll say my line again. Okay, team, for the new marketing campaign, I think we should spend the entire budget on television ads.
That's an interesting perspective, Trevor. I see why TV ads are powerful. I'm also thinking about our younger audience who spend more time online. From my perspective, we might get better results by also including some social media ads. What does everyone think?
Wonderful. See the difference? Alicia acknowledged my idea first. She said, "That's an interesting perspective." Then she used an I statement. "I am also thinking," and she used a phrase, "from my perspective." She offered a different idea as a suggestion, not a command. Ready for scenario two?
Let's do it.
Okay. In this situation, a colleague was supposed to send you a report yesterday, but they didn't. You need their report to do your work. Here is the less effective way to ask.
Hey, you were supposed to send me that report yesterday. Why isn't it done? You're making me fall behind.
This is full of you statements. It sounds very accusatory. The other person will likely feel defiant.
I would feel defensive if someone said that to me.
So let's try the polite and effective way.
Hi, Alex. Just wanted to check in about the sales report. I need it to finalize my presentation for Friday. Is there anything I can help with to get it finished?
So much better. This approach is helpful. It explains why you need the report for the presentation, which makes it about teamwork. And the question, "Is there anything I can help with?" shows that you are supportive, not just demanding. Now it's time to practice some of these key phrases. Repetition is a fantastic way to build memory and confidence. I will say a phrase slowly, then Alicia will say it at a more natural speed. We invite you, our listeners, to pause the audio and repeat the phrase out loud after Alicia.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Phrase 1. This is for when you want to show you are listening before you disagree. Slowly, "I see your point. However,"
I see your point, however.
phrase 2. Use this to introduce your opinion gently. Slowly, "From my perspective."
From my perspective,
Phrase 3. This is a great question to ask when you want to open a conversation about a potential problem. Slowly, "Could we talk for a moment about?"
could we talk for a moment about
And phrase 4. Use this to find a solution together. How can we find a compromise?
how can we find a compromise?
Excellent. Practice these phrases so they feel natural when you need them. All right, let's move to some guided listening and speaking practice. Think of this as a mini quiz. I will describe a situation at work. Then I will pause for a few seconds. In that pause, think about what you could say. After the pause, Alicia will share a great possible answer.
I'm ready to test my skills.
Situation 1. Your colleague takes credit for an idea that was yours in a team meeting. They say, "I have a great idea. We should," and they say your idea. What could you say politely?
That's a tough one. I think I would say something like, thanks for bringing that up, Mark. I'm glad you liked the idea when we discussed it earlier. I'm excited to develop it further with the team.
That is a brilliant answer. It is polite, but also clearly states that you discussed the idea before. It corrects the situation without creating a big fight in the meeting. Okay, situation 2. You have been given a task, but you don't have enough information to complete it well. Your manager is very busy. How can you ask for help politely?
I would probably say, excuse me, manager's name. I know you're very busy, but when you have a spare 5 minutes, could you help me clarify a couple of things about the new task? I want to make sure I do a great job on it.
Perfect. You showed respect for their time by saying, "I know you're busy," and "when you have a spare 5 minutes." You also show that your goal is positive to make sure I do a great job. Those are great examples. This brings up another crucial skill for managing disagreements: active listening.
Wow, Trevor, this has all been so helpful. I think I have a much better idea of how to handle these situations now. I feel more confident already.
I'm so glad to hear that, Alicia. Learning how to communicate effectively is a huge step in feeling comfortable and successful at work.
For me, the most important lesson was using I statements, focusing on how I feel instead of what someone else did wrong. Seems like it can change the whole conversation.
You're absolutely right. That is the core of it. So let's quickly summarize the main strategies for our listeners one last time. First, stay calm. If you feel angry or stressed, take a deep breath before you speak. Second, try to understand the other person's perspective. Listen to what they are saying.
Third, use polite phrases and I statements. Focus on the problem, not the person.
And fourth, look for a solution together. Ask questions like, how can we solve this? Or what's a good compromise?
It's all about teamwork and respect.
It is. And to all our listeners, please remember that learning this takes practice. No one gets it right every single time. The important thing is to keep trying and to learn from your experiences.
Yes, be kind to yourself. Every conversation is a chance to practice and improve. You are building a very important skill.
Thank you so much for joining us for this lesson. We hope you found it helpful.
Keep up your amazing work with your English learning journey. We look forward to having you with us again next time. Goodbye for now.